Supplication of Kumayl. In the name of Allah, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. O Allah, I ask you by your mercy which embraces all things, and by your strength through which you dominate all things, and towards which all things are humbled and before which all things are lowly, and by your invincibility through which you overwhelm all things, and by your might which nothing can resist, by your tremendousness which has filled all things, and by your force which towers over all things, by your face which exists after the destruction of all things, and by your names which has filled the foundations of all things, by your knowledge which encompasses all things, and by the light of your face through which all things illuminate. O light, O all-holy, O first of those who are first, and O last of those who are last, O Allah, forgive me those sins which tear apart safeguards. Forgive me those sins which draw down difficulties, those sins which alter blessings, which hold back prayers, which cut down hopes, which draw down tribulation. O Allah, forgive me for every sin I have committed and every mistake I have made. O Allah, verily I seek nearness to you through remembrance of you, and I seek intercession from you with yourself, and I ask you through the generosity to bring me near to your proximity, and to provide me with gratitude towards you, and to inspire me with your remembrance. O Allah, verily I ask you with the asking of a submissive, abased, and lowly man to show me forbearance, to have mercy on me, and to make me satisfied and content with your appointment, and make me humble in every state. O Allah, I ask you the question of one whose poverty is extreme, and who has stated to you in difficulties his need, and whose desire for what is with you has become significant. O Allah, your force is tremendous, your place is lofty, and your plan is hidden, your command manifest, and your domination overwhelming, your power unhindered, and escape from your covenants is impossible. O Allah, I find no forgiver of my sins, nor concealer of my ugly acts, nor transformer of any of my ugly acts into good acts but you. There is no God but you. Glory be to you, and thine is the praise. I have wronged myself, and I have been audacious in my ignorance, and I have depended upon your ancient remembrance of me and your favor towards me. O Allah, O my protector, how many ugly things you hast concealed, how many burdensome tribulations you have abolished, and how many stumbles you have prevented, and how many ordeals you hast repelled, and how much beautiful praise, for which I was unworthy, you hast spread abroad. O Allah, my tribulation is tremendous, and my lousy state is excessive, and my acts are inadequate, and my fetters have tied me down, and my far-fetched hopes have held me back from my gain. In this world, with its delusions, my soul with its offenses, and my delay have deceived me. O my Master, I ask you by your might not to let my evil works and acts wail my supplications from you, and not to disgrace me through the hidden things you knowest of my secrets, and not to hasten me to punishment for what I have done in private, my evil acts in secrecy and my misdeeds, and my continuous negligence and my ignorance, and my various passions and my forgetfulness. And by your might, O Allah, be kind to me in all states, and be gracious to me in all affairs. My God, my Lord, I have none but you, from whom I ask removal of my afflictions and regard for my affairs. My God and my protector, you put into effect through me a decree in which I followed the impulse of my soul, and I did not remain weary of adorning my enemy. So he deluded me through my soul's caprice, and therein destiny favored him. So, in what was put into effect through me, in that situation, I transgressed from some of your laws, and I disobeyed your commands. So thine is the argument against me. In all of that I do not argue. What your destiny puts into effect through me therein, nor in what your decree and your tribulation imposes upon me. Now, I have come to you, my God, after my shortcomings and my immoderations towards myself, proffering my excuses, regretful, broken, apologizing, asking forgiveness, repenting, acknowledging, submissive, confessing. I find no place to flee from what occurred through me, nor any place of escape to which I may turn in my affairs, other than your acceptance of my excuse, and your entering me into the compass of your mercy. O Allah, so accept my excuse, have mercy upon the severity of my affliction, and release me from the tightness of my constraints. My Lord, have mercy upon the weakness of my body, the tightness of my skin, and the fragility of my bones. O you who gave rise to my creation, to the remembrance of me, to the nature of me, to the goodness towards me and nourishment on me, bestow upon me, for the sake of your having given rise to me, with generosity and your previous goodness to me, O Allah, my Master and my Lord. Canst you see yourself tormenting me with your fire after I have declared your unity, and after the knowledge of you my heart has embraced, and the remembrance of you my tongue has constantly mentioned, and the love of you which my mind has clung, and after the sincerity of my confession and my supplication, humble before your lordship. Far be it from you. You are more generous than that. Will you squander him who you have nurtured, or banish him who you have brought near, or drive away from him whom you have given a home, or submit him to tribulation whom you have spared and shown mercy in the past? Would that I knew, my Master, my God, and my Protector, whether you willed. Give the fire dominion over faces fallen flat before your tremendousness, and over tongues voicing the declaration of your unity sincerely, and give thanks to you in praise, and over hearts acknowledging your divinity through verification, and over minds encompassing knowledge of you until they have become humble, and members speeding to places of your worship in obedience and beckoning for your forgiveness and submission. No such opinion is held of you, nor has such been reported. Thanks to your bounty concerning you, O all generous, my Lord, and you know my weakness before a little of this world's tribulations and punishments, and before those ordeals which befall its inhabitants, even though it is a tribulation and trial whose stay is short, whose support is but little, and whose period is but temporary. So how can I endure the afflictions of the next world and the great ordeals that occur within it? For it is distress whose period is long, whose station endures, and whose sufferers experience no release. since it only occurs due to your wrath. Vengeance and anger, these cannot be withstood by the heavens and the earth. O Master, so what about me? For I am your weak, lowly, base, wretched, and miserable slave. My God, my Lord, my Master, my Protector, for which things would I complain to you? And for which of them would I cry and weep? For the pain and severity of the chastisement, or for the length and period of the tribulation? So if you take me to the punishments with your enemies, and gather me with the people of your tribulation, and separate me from your friends and saints, then suppose, my God, my Master, my Protector, and my Lord, that I can endure your chastisement. But how can I endure separation from you? And suppose that I can endure the heat of your fire. How can I survive not gazing upon your generosity? Or how can I dwell in the fire while my hope is your pardon? So by your might, my Master and my Protector, I swear sincerely, if you leave me with speech, I will cry to you from the middle of the fire's inhabitants. With the lamentation of the hopeful, I will cry to you with the cry of those calling for help. I will weep to you with the weeping of the barren. And I will call to you, where are you, O sponsor of the believers, O goal of the hopes of your knowers? O aid of those who seek assistance, O friend of the hearts of the sincere, and O God of all the world's inhabitants. And you see yourself, glory be to you, my God, and thine is the praised. Hearing within the fire the voice of a slave surrendered to you, imprisoned there because of his violations, tasting the flavor of its torment because of its disobedience, and confined within its levels because of his sins and crime, while he laments to you with the lament of one hopeful for your mercy, and calls to you with the tongue of those who confess your unity and plead you by your lordship. My Protector, so how should he remain in chastisement while he has hope for your previous clemency? Or how should the fire cause him pain while he expects your bounty and mercy? How should its flames burn him while you hear his voice and see him? How should its groaning encompass him while you know his weakness? Should he be convulsed amongst its levels while you know his sincerity? How should its keepers torture him while he calls out to you, O Lord? How should he have hope of your bounty in freeing him from it while you abandon him within it? Far be it from you. That is not what is expected of you, nor what is well known of your bounty, nor is it similar to goodness and kindness you have shown to those who have proclaimed your unity. So I declare with certainty that were it not for what you have decreed concerning the chastisement of your deniers, and what you have predetermined concerning the everlasting home of those who stubbornly resist, who would make the fire, all of it, coolness and safety, and no one would have a place of rest or a dwelling within it. But you, holy are your names, have sworn that you would fill it with the unbelievers, both jinns and men together, and that you will place those who stubbornly resist therein forever. And you, majestic as your eulogy, said at the beginning and weren't gracious, through kindness as a favor. What? Is he who has been believer like unto him who has been ungodly? They are not equal. My God and my Master, so I ask you, by the power you have apportioned, and by the decision which you have determined and imposed, and through which you have overcome him, towards whom it has been put into effect, that you forgive me in this night and at this hour every offense I have committed, and every sin I have performed, and every ugly thing I have concealed, and every foolishness I have enacted, whether I have hidden it or announced it, or I have covered it or manifested it, in every evil act which you have commanded the noble writers to record. Those whom you have appointed to watch over what appears from me, and whom you have made, along with my bodily segments, witness against me. And you watched over me from behind them, and the witness of what is hidden from them. But through your mercy you concealed it, and through your bounty you veiled it. And I ask you that you bestow upon me an abundant share of every good you send down, or kindness you confer, or goodness you unfold, or provision you spread out, or sin you forgive, or error you cover. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my God, my Master, my Protector, owner of my servitude. O He in whose hands is my forelock, O He who knows my affliction and my misery, O He who is aware of my poverty and destitution, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, I ask you by your truth and your remembrance, and the greatest of your attributes and names, that you make my time in the night and the day inhabited by your remembrance and joined to your service, and my work acceptable to you, so that my work and my prayers may all be a single prayer, and my occupation with your service everlasting. My Master, O He upon whom I depend, O He to whom I complain about my states, my Lord, O my Lord, strengthen my bodily members in your service, and fortify my ribs in determination, and bestow upon me determination in my fears of you, and continuity in my being joined to your service, so that I may move quickly towards you in the battlefields of the foremost, and hurry to you among the prominent, and desire fervently your proximity among the fervently wishing, and move nearer to you with the nearness of the sincere, and fear you with the fear of those who have certainty, and gather with the believers in your vicinity. O Allah, whoever desires evil for me, desire for him. Whoever deceives me, deceive him, and make me one of the most excellent of your slaves in portion from you, and the nearest of them in a situation to you, and the most elected of them in proximity to you. For that cannot be attained except by your bounty, and grant generously to me through your generosity, and incline towards me with your splendor, and protect me with your mercy, and make my tongue remember you without ceasing, and my heart captivated by your love. And be gracious to me by answering me favorably, and nullify my slips, and forgive my lapses. For you have decreed your worship for your servants, and commanded them to supplicate you, and assured them that they would be answered. So towards you, my Lord, I have turned my face, and towards you, my Lord, I have extended my hands. So by your might answer my supplication, and make me attain my desire. Do not shun my hope of your favors, and spare me the evil of my enemies from among the jinn or men. O He whose pleasure is quickly achieved, forgive him who owns nothing but supplication, for you do what you will. O He whose name is a remedy, and whose remembrance is a cure, and whose obedience is wealth, Have mercy upon him whose capital is hope, and whose weapon is his own sorrow. O ample in blessings, O repeller of adversites, O light of those who are lonely in the darkness, O Noor, who was never taught. Bless Muhammad and Muhammad's household, and do with me what is worthy of you. O Allah, bless his messenger and the holy imams of his households, and give them abundant peace. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.